Turkey hunting when the weather is absolutely horrible. You stay tuned because that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. We've all been there, we've all done that. Having to hunt turkeys during the spring turkey season when the weather is absolutely terrible. But here's the thing you got to remember. Turkeys are out here all day long. This is their home. This is where they exist at. They don't just run and hide in shelter somewhere. So they only have a short season to mate in. So they're out there in the middle of a rainstorm mating hens, strutting, gobbling even. All that's still going on even if the weather is terrible. But in today's world, of course, we have the pop-up blinds, which has been a lifesaver when it comes to rainy and nasty and windy weather. Where years ago, 30 years ago, we didn't have that so much. But in today's world, we have pop-up blinds, like the one from Tidewe that we use, which is a great blind, and and you can check them out in the description of this video. We'll post a link to the blind. But you know, the blinds have been amazing. Now, even though I'm not a huge blind person when it comes to turkey hunting, I don't turkey hunt a lot out of a blind because it's not my style of hunting. However, they are a lifesaver when it comes to bad weather, and if you like to hunt out of them, that is a great time to pick to hunt out of them, is when the weather is bad, and I do it myself. However, if you're like myself, when I don't have the option of a pop-up blind, get you some rain gear. Again, Tidewe has some great rain gear, and these other companies too, but Tidewe's got some great affordable rain gear that you can have to use in these bad weather situations and set out there longer, and many times that's going to cause you to be more successful the longer you can tough out that bad weather. Now, when it comes to strategies, of course, you've heard it in other videos and my videos and other videos and in the past, and it's true. It's still the go-to to go into open areas where that you're able to see a longer ways, because when you're in them areas where that you can see a longer ways, the gobblers are in areas they can see longer ways, and that's where they're going to be at. They want to shake and get that, you know, wet rain off of them. They don't like that extra, you know, they don't like that extra weight that gets on them when that rain gets on them, because if they have to take off and fly really quick, you know, they want to be the lightest they can so they can get up and get out of there if danger is approaching, and they don't like to walk around wet. So you take advantage of that, and they like to get in open areas, so you get in open areas. This is where you get out in fields and you get out into more open logging roads or gas lines or whatever the case, and you sit there in these fields and these gas lines or open places in the timber. Many times they're going to walk right in there and start strutting, you know, up in the day and gobbling and getting with their hens, even when it's pouring down the rain, and you want to capitalize on that as well. So just because the rain and the winds come doesn't mean that the gobblers are just going to, you know, just set in for the day and not do nothing. They're going to be out there doing their thing. The reason why turkeys like to get in open places is because they want to use that eyesight of theirs. Not just their hearing, but their eyesight. And many times in the timber, or many times in the thick brush, one of their senses are being kind of taken from them is their hearing, because of the water dropping or the wind blowing. You know, it's taking it. So they want to get out where they can use that eagle eye that they have and see danger approaching, or see hens from afar off and go to them. So they're using their eyesight when it comes to a lot of bad weather. So that's why you want to get into open areas also. But I think too, it helps you as a caller to get into open areas where that call can really pierce through that rain and that wind, and that's where that I think that you have to have them calls that are loud and high frequency to pierce through all that. And that's why I like to say on a box call, even though it may be raining and you don't want to get your, you know, chalk wet or anything else, I stay on a box call or a really loud friction call during them windy days. And then once I get the gobbler really coming in and I know he's coming in, then I might switch over to a mouth call when he gets up there. But sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I'll keep calling him even all the way with a box call, but just put my box call down and sit there and wait, and if that's what he's gobbling, calling at. So you want to use a really good friction call, whether it's a box call or a good loud, like a glass call or a good slate call, to pierce through that weather, because that's going to help you locate them turkeys and get them interested. But once you're out there in them open places, say like an open field or you know, again, gas lines or anything like that that's open, your calls can get out more than they can, say, in the timber. Now, if you're forced to hunt the timber, maybe you're hunting on public land or mountainous regions, then you can still be successful calling, but again, you've got to get a call that's going to really get out there and pierce through all that. This is why I like a high frequency call, and this is why I love my call that we designed from Spring Fever Custom Calls, the Matt Dell Signature Series Old Sly box call, because this call was designed to really get out there and not just to locate turkeys, but bad weather days that we all have. I want that high friction call. I want that high, I want that piercing, just almost deafens you up, you know, close, but really gets out there. And many times it's caused me, this particular call, you know, since we've had it out of the market for the last 3 or 4 years, it's really helped get them turkeys fired up, even on bad windy days. I've shot gobblers in the rain, I've shot gobblers in high winds using this very call, and you can check them out at springfevercustomcalls.com. The link will be in the description, so make sure to go over there and get you one. But this call was designed for just for that purpose, was to get out there on them days where it's hard to get a call, any other call, to really locate them and to pierce through that bad weather. Now, this last tip I'm going to give you is probably the most important in this entire video, and that is you want to know where them turkeys is at, not just from the roost, but all day long. On your particular property that you're hunting, you want to know kind of the pattern that them gobblers and them hens are going to be at, not just from the roost, because a lot of people just get hung up from, you know, daylight on to, you know, the first 2 or 3 hours, and then after they go quiet and even after they shut up, they kind of don't know where the turkeys is at. But especially in areas where you hunt a lot. Now, when I travel, I've only got 3 or 4, 5 days to hunt an area, not so much, you know, I'm depending on the gobblers. But let's say around home and where I hunt a lot, you know, regularly, that I want to know where them turkeys is, not just in the mornings, but I want to know where they're at 9 o'clock, where they're at 11 o'clock, where they usually hang out at 1 o'clock, you know, in the day. I want to know all day long kind of their pattern. Now, it may change off and on during the season because of the hens, and they're going to go where the hens is at, but if nobody messes with them much and you're hunting a particular group of turkeys that's, you know, kind of historically doing the same thing, you want to know where them turkeys is at in different times of the day. That way that if they're not gobbling, say early in the morning, and you're going out there and you're, you know, and maybe they're not saying much, then say, hey, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go here, because historically or normally this is where the turkeys kind of like to hang out, you know, from 9, 10 o'clock or 11 to 12, whatever the case. You want to know where them turkeys are all morning long, so that when they don't gobble, you don't get discouraged, because many times when you know where turkeys are going to be all day long, it will help you get in them situations and set up right where you can kill silent gobblers and fill your turkey tag. So that's just something that you want to really pay attention to if you're hunting a place over and over, is not just know where the turkeys is at on the roost down to fly down, but you want to know where they're at all day long. And you can do that by scouting them and standing far back and watching them, you know, going out, listening to them, call to them, locate them, you know, get out different times of the day, locate them. Okay, they were here this morning, but they're down here. Make a mental note of it and think, okay, so when they're not gobbling like I want them to on the roost, here's where I'm going to go, and here's where I'm going to go. Here, have a plan on these bad weather days, and many times that right there alone will help put you in the right situation to kill gobblers in terrible bad weather. So remember that. Get out there and scout them right now before season and start marking where they're at all day long. That will help you right there tremendously put yourself in the right position to kill gobblers when they're not gobbling or in terrible weather days. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. Just hit that subscribe button for all the great content we got coming. More educational videos just like this one all throughout the season, and turkey hunts as season gets closer. We'll be out there hunting here in a couple weeks, and looking forward to that and getting out there and chasing them down south. Also, check out Spring Fever Custom Calls, where you can get the Matt Dell box call, the Signature Series box call, and the Slate calls, and all the other great calls there at Spring Fever Custom Calls. But this box call, like I said, it was really designed to be be high frequency and get out there and cut through all that bad weather and locate them gobblers. So make sure you get you one, but you need to get one now, because the closer season gets and during season it's really hard to get because they sell out so quick. But check them out, springfevercustomcalls.com, and all the other great calls they have available. Check out Tidewe.com, where you can get the blinds and the rain gear for them bad weather days. So make sure to check them out also and use the promo code DALE22, and the link will be in the description below. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure to follow us and like us there and stay with us all year long. Join us on Pateron, where you can give a small monthly donation to Dale Outdoors if you'd like. If this channel's been a blessing to you and it's really helped you, go over to Pateron and just give a small donation of $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever the case, a month. It just helps us to keep bringing more videos to you in better quality in the future. So make sure to do that. You can also Cash App, PayPal, all that is available as well, and all the other links, the Dale Outdoors website, the merchandise, just check them out in the description below, and we really appreciate it. And until the next video, which will be here in just a few days, let's get ready for spring turkey season, and make sure to get out there and pre-season scout so you'll know what to do when the weather gets nasty, because I guarantee you sometime during your season it's gonna get bad, but you gotta be out there hunting them. It's spring turkey season. You can't miss a day.